Five, four, three, two, one. Yeah, you know what it is. It's your boy. Guess who? You now tapped into Streetnerdz Radio, the #1 station in the streets right now. We got a special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
And my name Rackk the GOAT from Flint, Michigan, CEO of Streetnerdz Radio Basketball. Y'all know what it is.
Man, I'm glad I got you in here, bro. It's a good switch up from what people see on my platform. And I'm glad to get you here. First off, I want to start with your childhood and upbringing. You say you from Flint. What was growing up in Flint like for you as a child?
Man, first off, I grew up on the north side. It's known as Gundry Hood, and it was rough. I ain't gonna lie. It's either, you either finna grab a ball or you gonna grab a gun. And I was just smart enough to grab that ball and just keep going until I made it.
Was it, before you growing up, was it other people around in the neighborhood that kind of was like, oh, you should stick to ball and stay away from the negative? Or what was it for yourself outside of the discipline that you probably have for yourself that kept you away from all that?
Oh man, first and foremost, it had to be my dad and my mom. They stayed on me since a kid all the way to now. And it's just like having them in my corner. I just feel like if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here where I'm at now. And it's just like, especially growing up in Flint, where it's like it's the trenches, and many don't make it out. You feel me? So I salute the ones who did.
Flint, Michigan. Outside of Draymond Green, because Draymond from Flint, right?
Oh no, Draymond, he from Saginaw. It's probably like
Saginaw.
25 minutes.
25 minutes. So with a place like Michigan, where Detroit is constantly number one, looked at number one, do you feel like Flint is a city where is overlooked when it comes to Michigan?
I feel like we was. I ain't gonna lie, but like now we got like in the NBA, we got Miles Bridges, who play for the Hornets. We got Monte Morris, Kyle Kuzma. And I just feel like, it's up and coming. And then like with the rap scene, we got Louis Ray, YNJ, we got RMC, Mike Rio, Goob. Like it's just a lot of them. They got their own flow. Crispy Life Kid. So I just feel like it's Flint got their own flow now. So Detroit gotta respect Flint.
What's the culture like in Flint?
Man, the culture, man, it's...
For out of towner like myself, I want to go to Flint. You want to tell me about Flint? I want the pros first, like the stuff that be like, this is what we proud of.
Okay, one thing about Flint that you can always say you can be proud of is like the sports. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody know Flint was the hotbed ever since like back with Glenn Rice. It's just like it's the hotbed. You have Mateen Cleaves, Charlie Bell, Morris Peterson, the Flintstones. And it go all the way back as far as my pops at Flint Northwestern with Teddy Jackson. It's just like one thing you can't mention basketball without mentioning Flint.
And knowing that, so when you say you either could pick up a gun or basketball, what is the atmosphere when it comes to sports like, knowing that it's such a big thing where you from?
Oh man.
Is the little league sports just as crazy as everywhere else?
From middle school, elementary on up, it's wall to wall. Like I never forget, like ever since I was a freshman on varsity, it was just like when we play Flint Beecher or we play anybody like Southwestern, it's a packed house. You know what I'm saying? People mad they can't get in. So it's just like when you walk in that gym, it's sold out crowd. It's just like I'm ready to get to it. And that's how like I always was. As a freshman, I might have been like 5'5" on varsity, but it was just like it's hard over height. I never cared. It's just like I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna grind. And everybody respected me ever since middle school, like 6th, 7th grade.
When would you say for yourself that you felt like, man, this basketball thing's gonna really work out for me? Was it a moment, a game, somewhere you just be like, this is probably the best feeling? It don't gotta be like this was the best feeling when I knew like this was for me.
I say my 9th grade year. Like I was always good coming up in the trenches, but it was my 9th grade year. I told my pops like they was bigger than me. I don't want to go out there. My pops made me go out there, and that changed my life right then. Cause I'm just like, damn, I'm 5'4". They all bigger than me, but one thing about it, they respected me once I got out there. So it's just like I really got to get to it, and I knew right then and there like this for me. Like this ball right here finna change my life, and it did.
What do you feel like is lacking as far as youth sports today? You see a lot of parents, or you see a lot of these videos where these parents are going crazy, or a lot of these kids are getting approached with all these deals, endorsements. What do you feel like where youth sports is at today?
I feel like honestly it's a lot of distractions because you got social media, you got rankings. It's just a whole lot of stuff that the kids shouldn't be able to have to deal with. They should just be able to go out there and just play ball, like with no distractions. But sometimes I be feeling like coaches and parents put way more pressure on the kid instead of just letting it come to them.
As a scout, as somebody who looks for talent in the youth, outside of athletics, what characteristics do you look for in a young man or young woman looking to go and advance their career to the next level?
Oh, the first and foremost, the number one priority that I always say is grades. Like, you could be the most talented in the world, but if you ain't got no grades, you can't go nowhere. So I always tell people, like, when I talk to the parents, like, first question, how's their grades? Okay, then how are they as a person? Because those are things you got to worry about when you send your kid off to college. Like, are they smart enough to be out on their own? Are they going to make the right decision? Of course, here and there, we all going to make a wrong decision here and there. But it's just like, if you're a quality person, if I make this mistake, I know not to do it again.
Coaches that you spoke to and spoke with and about the youth, is it for them too as well, grades over athleticism?
Oh yeah, it's like it's always grades first. Like, that's because growing up in school, like, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't the best in school, but I knew, like, if I wanted to take this serious and be a professional, I knew I had to buckle down on my grades. 9th and 10th grade, it was a little rocky, but 11th and 12th grade, I got it right. So that's why I always tell people, it don't matter what route you take, as long as you get to that end goal at the end.
Coming up for you, what was the biggest distraction you felt like you had for yourself?
Man, I think my biggest distraction coming up, I ain't gonna lie, like, it was girls. It was women, And I feel like just coming up, I had the talent, book smart, everything. It was just, sometimes I let them get to my head, and you gotta think as a 15, 16-year-old boy, you ain't really thinking about nothing else. It's just like, okay, I'm finna come in and get buckets. Boom, I check my phone afterwards, see what's up, But you gotta realize, like, you gotta keep going. Like, you gotta stay focused, because women could distract you. 90% of the distractions be women. So it's just like, you gotta stay focused, keep a level head, and just know the right one gonna come to you at the right time.
Professional basketball, and a lot of kids dream of one day being able to play professional basketball, whether overseas or in the NBA. For you, what do you tell the youth coming up when it's not promised to make it to the league?
Oh yeah.
What is the biggest game or wisdom that you would give to a younger athlete coming up behind your steps from Flint, young lady or young man? And they asking you, like, what piece of game or wisdom you can give me if I don't make it pro?
One thing I tell them is you got to use the game of basketball to get where you need to go. And by me saying that, you use that game to get that degree. Because that degree going to take you farther than basketball. Because one day, your legs going to get old, you're going to stop playing. But one thing they can't take from you is wisdom and knowledge. So that's one thing I tell them, like, use the game to get education, and that education gonna build your future.
What kids that have you worked with, played basketball with, that you've seen come up, that you are not, I wouldn't say most proud of, but that you just be like are just above the rest? Is there any athletes that you worked with?
Oh man, it's one kid named Jaden Nunn. He currently plays for Baylor right now. Like, I seen him come from the trenches, like, growing up, going to Carmen, going to prep school, and he never gave up. And it's just like, it's proud to watch him on that screen. Like, anytime Baylor play, I'm locked in. Like, money line bets, I don't care who it is, I'm going with Jay Nunn. And I just feel like watching him come up as a kid and watching him on TV, and he can go to the league. And it's just like, it's a good feeling, because it's like, I watched him from the trenches.
To see somebody's progression and see somebody's growth like that, especially knowing where they come from, what's that feeling like for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, to know, like, damn, like, I really been watching you, like, grow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it feel like I'm playing. I ain't gonna lie. It feel like I'm in the Baylor uniform, and it's just like to see him out there. It's like, man, I remember this kid when he was 14 years old, a freshman in Kerman. You know what I'm saying? It's just now he was a junior now, and it's just like, damn. It's like time really be flying by, and it's just like I remember when I was bigger than him. Now he bigger than me. So it's just like. It's a good feeling though to see someone that came from where you came from actually on TV. You know what I'm saying? We could pull him up on ESPN and it's just like, damn, that's him. You know what I'm saying? He from where I'm from.
You ain't never thought about coaching basketball?
See, that's one thing about it. I'm gonna get into coaching. Like cause I used to coach middle school back at my high school, my old high school. And you know, I love the kids. And I feel like I could get more out of the kid because like with my connections, I could just call the coach, like come down, you know, and see this kid, I got a kid for you. And one thing about it, they respect me, and then they gonna fly down. They gonna come check that kid out, because they like, we know if he say he got somebody for us, he got somebody.
Which state that you've been to has the best basketball? What state plays the best basketball? Outside of Flint.
Outside of Flint. Man, I ain't gonna lie. It's like, when I've been to Texas, like Houston, I ain't gonna lie, like Houston, they got them ballers.
Them kids is different.
They football, basketball, they bigger, stronger. They different. They breed different.
Celebrity basketball.
Yeah.
Celebrity basketball games. Man, I seen that y'all did a big one. King was out there. Y'all had a bunch of celebrities out there. Tell us about how you got involved with doing the celebrity basketball and why you keep busting their ass.
Oh yeah, first and foremost, shout out to Pearl, man. She family. She like a big sister. She also do my management. And man, we been to Miami, Virginia, Atlanta. We got some stuff Rolling Loud coming up in Cali. It's just like, man, it's like, I ain't gonna lie, like connecting with her, it really changed my life, and it kept me with the love of basketball. Like I'm done playing professional, but I can still have that joy and love traveling to different states, hooping in celebrity games. Like you said, King was there, Honcho was there. It be a lot of different ones, and like when we was in Miami, you know, Finesse, it's just a lot of them. And it's just like when we was in Atlanta, it's just like, man, it's a different feeling when you got, you know, grown-ups and kids. You out there, everybody want to take pictures. So it's just like, it's a good feeling. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
knowing that we finna go into the new year, because we are doing this right before the new year. What is some goals that you have set for yourself for 2024?
Well, I know one of the big goals that I got is I'm doing my own All-American game. It's called Streetnerdz Reality Basketball, and I'm picking the top 20 kids in the state of Michigan, and I'm gonna have it at my old high school at Flint Hamady, you know, and it's just like the top 20 that's in the state, just giving them something to look up for, because everybody not gonna make the McDonald's All-American game. So I'm just like, why not bring an All-American game to my city, you know, so them kids could go out with a bang. So that's one of my, you know, major goals that I'm going to accomplish in 2024.
Now let's talk about your program.
Okay.
What got you involved with wanting to give back?
Man, no lie, I've been giving back since I was a junior in high school. You know what I'm saying? Taking kids to the mall, buying them little shoes, it's every little thing. But one thing about it is, like, I feel like coaches really don't help kids no more. They just go off talent. You know, they don't want to start from the bottom with the basic fundamentals. And I just feel like I take a 5-star kid, or I take a kid who never played basketball before, and I'm going to turn him into a beast. So it's just like, you got to have that patience. And I've seen so many good players go under the radar just because they didn't have that backbone and that push. So I felt like, okay, I'll be that big brother. So, you know, I started Streetnerdz Radio Basketball. I looked at my son one day when he was 1. He was holding a ball. I made him my logo. And it's just like, every year I'm just steady climbing. I think like I just maybe at the end of the year, I had over 150K, you know, engagements. So now I'm trying to double to 300K in 24. So it's just like you just got to keep grinding, you got to keep pushing, man, because everybody needs somebody. And I feel like kids nowadays, they need a big brother or mentor they could come to.
Where do you feel like a lot of the disconnect between the youth and the older generation is coming?
I feel like the younger generation nowadays, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like they more talented. And I just be feeling like some of the older generation, it's kind of like a resentment or a little bit of hate because they might not have did it when they, you know what I'm saying, in their time. So it's like they don't want to reach back and help because, well, I ain't do it. I might got the connections, but I'm not gonna help them. And like for me, it's like I got the connections, so it's just like, why not help them? I'm trying to help everybody, not just in my city, whether it's Colorado, Georgia, Houston, Florida, wherever I'm at. I'm trying to help.
Some things that have been going on in basketball is Draymond Green just got suspended indefinitely for his actions. Coming from a person who played basketball, is it warranted or unwarranted? Was he doing too much, or was the penalty worth the crime?
I mean, Day, that's my dog. I mean, he been like that since the high. Like that's always been him. So if you know him personally, you know, like, okay, that's Draymond. But if it's somebody, say, from Colorado that never met Draymond, they might think, oh, he arrogant, he taunting. I mean, if you look at it now, like half the time the stuff that he get in, he be defending his teammates. Sometimes he might go a little overboard, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got to choke him out like that. But, I mean, that's Day. I mean, they used to call him the dancing bear. So, I mean, that's just how he is.
To see that, and then to see basketball players nowadays say that the game is getting a little bit soft. Do you feel like basketball is getting a lot more soft?
Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, because even back when I used to watch with the Bad Boys, with Rasheed and Ben Wallace, all of them, and even back with Charles Barkley and all of them, like, if you go back on YouTube and look, they brawling. That's, you know what I'm saying? But now, it be little soft fouls, little weak calls and everything. It's definitely watered down and soft now.
For sure. Before we got on camera, you said you just came to Colorado. So now I want to ask you, so far, how do you feel about Colorado?
I mean, so far about Colorado, you know, I'm always keep it 100. It's a little different, you know, because I come from Flint, the trenches. So it's like, they hood that they call down here is like not my type. Like, my hood back at home is rough. Like, we was always in the top 5 for homicides, and it's just like me trying to adapt it down here is kind of hard, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if I go to Atlanta, I'm straight. I go to Texas, I'm straight. I mean, just like down here, it's just, I don't know, it's just a different culture, you know what I'm saying, that I wasn't brought up in. So trying to adapt to something, I know they say sometimes you got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And that's true. So that's like what I'm down here doing. I'm making the best of what it is.
Have you tried any food here yet?
I ain't gonna lie, like the only thing I tried here probably was like the Waffle House, you know. I don't really venture out too much, you know. I like soul food. I'm down there from the South, you feel me? I like, you know, neck bones, like, you know, this soul food, you know. Yeah. I really can't find that down here. They might have 1 or 2 places, but it ain't like what I'm used to.
Just so we could talk about a little bit of music, we were talking, what are some artists that you've heard about since you've been here?
Since I've been here, I heard about, you know, shout out to AP, you know, Trev Rich, 100 Pack Savvy, you know, Chapo the Gritter, you know, them mainly the ones that, you know, I done heard about since I've been here, you know, and I follow all of them. Like, when I go to Atlanta or wherever I go, if I'm out, I tell them to play this. You know, you feel me? I'm always gonna show love everywhere I go with who I, you know what I'm saying, who I fuck with. So It's just like, if I'm in the club, whatever, hey, play this real quick, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, when I play Trev Rich, I can't think of that one song right now, but they played that in there, man. And I'm just like, man, bro gotta get out. Like, bro gotta network. Cause I'm just like, you might got a base in your state, but you gonna have a big one once you leave.
Man, for sure. A lot of people, we just had a discussion with some of the youth, the younger generation. They were saying, some were saying they feel like you're gonna have to get out of Colorado to make it. Someone said, nah, you just gonna have to market extra because you got the internet now, so you should be able to do it on the internet. For a person like you, not considering music, but just in general, what do you consider making it?
I mean, I consider making it, like, for me, like, if I was grew up down here and say if I was rapping or something, it's just like, you could make it anywhere. It's just all about branding yourself and networking. You gotta reach out to the right people. Like, I could be from Colorado right now, and I could be signed with Boozy. It's just all about how you network and how you put yourself out there, because ain't nobody gonna get you out there but yourself. So if you comfortable with just having a fan base and you just a celebrity in your own, city, some people cool with that, but it's always levels, So it's just like, you want to reach your full potential. You just don't want to walk around, okay, I'm in Colorado, everybody know about me here. But you go to Atlanta, you a nobody. So you got to network different places. Even with me, like, I could go to Flint, I could come here, I could go to Atlanta, Houston, Florida. Wherever I go, everybody know Rackk to go. And that's because I just travel with basketball. Everybody just know. And that's a good feeling. I could leave my own city and be like, I could go, I want to take a picture. You Rackk to go. Yeah, that's me. Okay, and it's just like, it's a good feeling when you could leave and go elsewhere and they still know you. And I just feel like a lot of people in Colorado just be comfortable with Colorado, not knowing if they just step out their comfort zone, it's a whole world they can conquer.
What is the biggest misconception about you that people have about you?
The biggest misconception, I honestly have to say is, some people might look at me like how I dress and stuff like that, and you know how they might stereotype he hood or he ghetto, but not knowing, like, I'm bilingual. I know about 3-4 different languages. It's just like, you have a conversation with me, I'm intelligent. I got 2 degrees. So it's just like, it ain't just like, oh, he dressed like that. No, I got credentials behind me. Like, I know how to talk business. Like, I know how to talk with my homeboys. It's just, I know how to switch it up. And sometimes I feel like people don't know how to approach me sometimes. And it's just like, you can approach me. You know what I'm saying? I never make it big where I'm just like, I ain't talking to you. I'm still gonna write back on social media. I'm still saying what up out in public. That's just me. You know how some people make it, they ain't even talking to you. Like, they ain't even finna say, they will walk, you could grew up with them since childhood. They'll walk right past you. Like, I ain't gonna do that. Like, that ain't me. Like, nah.
Who is Rackk the GOAT?
Who is Rackk the GOAT? Man. Rackk the GOAT. I ain't gonna lie, I came up with Rackk the GOAT probably about maybe like a year and a half ago. And maybe 2 years ago, right before I got down here, because don't nobody know my real name. Like, down here in Colorado, everybody know Rackk. If somebody, you say my real name, they'd be like, who? And that's why I came up with Rackk the GOAT, because I'm just like, everybody gonna know me as that. And once I said Rackk the GOAT, it just blew up everywhere. So I changed all my social media to Rackk the GOAT. Started traveling these celebrity games, playing. It's just like, that's Rackk the GOAT. So it's just like, I'm gonna tell them in 2024, every hoop run I go to, I'm having on a GOAT mask. I'm pulling up with a GOAT mask. Every run I go to. You feel me? Because that's how you gotta brand yourself. Like, hey, when they see that GOAT mask, they already know who that is.
Before we get out of here, basketball is big now on YouTube. They're playing these one-on-one games, going hard, putting big money up. Have you ever thought about getting into something like that?
Y'all always, you know what I'm saying, thought about getting into it. But it's just like, shout out to my boy Yak Finest, he from Pontiac, you feel me? It's like, I'd rather put money on them. Like, I grew up playing street ball and everything, but it's just like, you gotta know your lane. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, I could get out there, I could do all that, but I'd rather put my money on somebody else, you know what I'm saying, that's younger, that I know we gonna take a couple L's, but we gonna get more wins than we get L's. So it's just like, now, even like with street ball, it's just like, the next chapter, ball is life, you gotta think, they once started small. And it's just like, now they big. So we just, you know what I'm saying, I look at it now like, we all can come up with something and be big. The only thing we gotta do is just stay disciplined and just keep grinding until we get it.
Man, for sure. before we get out of here, I'm gonna let you go ahead and look at the camera, give them your final words. Any final last statement you want to tell the people? Go ahead.
Man, I just want to tell y'all, whatever y'all doing, just keep grinding and you'll get there. You know what I'm saying? We all start off in the pond first, but that don't mean we can't get to the ocean. This your boy Rackk the Goat, man. Y'all keep grinding.
Where can we find you, Brody?
You can find me on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snap, Rackk the Goat, RACKK.THEE.GOATT. You can find me on all platforms at that. Make sure y'all holler at your boy, man.
Man, for y'all watching, make sure you like, share, and comment. If you're watching this before everybody, I appreciate you for becoming a member. If you're just catching it when we dropped, I appreciate you for subscribing. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, and we out. All right.